I had a really large problem today when all of a sudden I smelled smoke and I started seeing smoke coming out from under my hood. It turns out there was a fire. I got out of the vehicle quickly. I grabbed Lily, grabbed my purse, grabbed my phone. Well, so we had this amazing spot over here to park at night, but we just got kicked out. The owners said that this was his property, and there's too many RVs parking over here apparently, and there was no parking today. But I don't know, it doesn't say there's no signs up, but he says he's gonna put some signs up here tomorrow. So, oh well, we at least got one night out of it, and this beautiful view over here. So we'll come back during the day and enjoy it. So unfortunate. I even told him that we actually frequented the businesses over here today, which we did. I bought art and I bought lunch and coffee, but I get it. So we are packing up. Lily, we're going, girl. We're gonna head back to our spot at the coffee shop. Guys, look at this eagle. I heard him when I was in the van. They have a very special call signal. And I ran out here to see where he was at, and look, he's so close. What a beauty. I've never been this close to a bald eagle. I'm so grateful. So after leaving the coffee shop this morning that we stayed at last night, decided to move over to this day use park. So called Mariners Park, and it's right off of the spit, just at the beginning of the spit. So beautiful. This is where I saw the eagles. And it looks like we have some horses over here too. Do you mind if I pet them?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh, you're looking at my camera.
He will probably put his nose on it. He's a very curious boy.
Oh, hi. You want some loving too? Okay.
He won't forget you.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so good boy.
Oh, you're beautiful. What's their names?
This is Lightning because he has a little lightning bolt on his face.
Lightning.
And this is Carlos Riviera.
Oh,
He
Carlos.
is a Spanish Andalusian, so he's got to have a Spanish name.
You taking him out on the beach? Wow.
Low tide day. Take advantage of it.
Hi, baby. You're beautiful. Well, that was quite amazing to be able to pet the horses and hang out with them for a little bit. Oh, they're so beautiful. I haven't been around horses in years, and I used to be so afraid of them. I actually got bit by a horse when I was a kid. It was my fault. I got in front of him and he decided to nip me on the shoulder a little bit. So ever since then I was a bit afraid of them. But beautiful, beautiful animals. They were very nice and well behaved and wanted their heads to be petted, and so I gave them some scratches. Lily, where's Jackson? Where's Jackson? Where's Jackson? Lily, come here. Where's Jackson? She's looking for him. Lily, where's Jackson? Where's Jackson? She was so excited. I said, where's Jackson? She's like looking all around. Aww. Jackson! Jackson! Hey, buddy! No. Jackson. Well, guys, I had a really large problem today. I did not get it on camera because we were in emergency mode, but I literally was driving like 5 minutes when all of a sudden I smelled smoke. And what I thought was smoke, or I definitely smelled something different, but I wasn't really sure what it was at first. And then I started seeing smoke coming out from under my hood. And thankfully we were at the spot where we were pulling in for the night, and I was able to get into the parking lot and get in a parking space very, very quickly. Still traveling with my friends Mark and Shay. It turns out there was a fire. I got out of the vehicle quickly. I grabbed Lily, grabbed my purse, grabbed my phone, and basically threw my purse and Lily into Shay's van with her, and then her husband Mark came out and he helped me figure out what was going on. He opened the hood to the van. I couldn't believe he did that because I just knew there was a fire somewhere, and I was scared it was gonna be like right there underneath the hood. but he opened it, and then we found out the fire was actually in the bottom right corner panel of the RV, which when we're looking at it is in the bottom left, and that's where the underhood generator is at. So I had the fire extinguisher out already, and he went and just put it out. Like, I'm so glad he was here, because I don't know if I could have acted that quickly. I was about to call 911. Just a couple of shots of the fire extinguisher and it was out. So needless to say, I was shaking, and I've never had a fire in a vehicle. I've never had a fire like that at all, and so it scared me to death. Of course, I'm thinking my whole RV is going to blow up, or you know, something. So here's what we know right now is it's the day before holiday, first of all. It's right before the 4th of July, so there's nobody, I doubt, that will come out here tomorrow to help me with this. What we have gathered is that we think it's probably the underhood generator, and the only reason why we think that is because, one, the location, and two, when we open the hood, the balmer that I showed in a previous video where we had relocated it to was fried. The white wire that went to that was like disintegrated, and the rest of the wires and the sheath that covers it, that goes down to the underhood generator, was just melted. And that's really all we know right now, and needless to say, I'm just stunned and at a loss for, one, what's happening, how this happened, how do we prevent it from happening. You know, of course, we don't have a warranty with Hymer, so they're not going to pay for it. You know, they've completely left us orphaned. These are the times when I get mad at Hymer. All the times before, I'm like, we're just gonna have to deal with it, and you know, whatever. So yep, we're dealing with it now, because even the company that is purchasing Hymer decided they were only purchasing the road truck division of Hymer North America and not Hymer. Although I didn't think that there was a road truck division. I thought Hymer North America was just Hymer North America, and they built Hymers and road trucks, but what do I know? And by the way, nobody's gone to jail for that either yet. So of course, right now in my madness about this whole thing, I want somebody to pay for it. So this may not even end up in my video, but I'm just venting right now. Anyway, so whatever, I'm gonna have to fix it myself, pay for it myself, and figure out what's going on. Which is probably better than Hymer fixing it anyways, or having anybody else fix it that doesn't know what they're doing. So, because nobody seems to know how to work on Hymer, because it's Hymer. So anyways, I'll survive, we'll get through this, but it's quite annoying because I'm here in Alaska, and of course I have all these plans, and it's a holiday tomorrow, but the good news is I have friends here with me. Mark's gonna help me all along the way when we get the mechanic out here. I think we just need to get the Hymer up on some blocks or something to take that E-guard off, to take a look at everything. If it's definitely the underhood generator, then we should just be able to disconnect it all, and so it doesn't run, and then that should hopefully solve the problem, if that's where the fire is. I do have battery power though, so my lithium batteries are on. Thankfully I have battery power to the coach. That's a plus. Nothing seems to have been affected in here. At least I have that going for me. Silver lining for sure. I thought Alaska was going to be somewhat challenging with roads and things like that, but I certainly didn't think I was going to have to deal with the fire. But we'll get through it. Alright guys, see you in the morning. Alright, so this is next morning after I've had my freak out moments about what happened. A little bit more level-headed now and thinking through our plan. So we're going to do a little bit of diagnosis here. Well, Mark is going to do a little bit of diagnosis. So I think what we're going to do is actually just cut the belt off so I can drive. We think we're like 99% sure that it's the alternator. And if that's true, when we get this off, we'll find out if that's what is the problem. Then simply cutting the belt will solve the problem so I can drive, and it won't cause a fire or damage anything, damage my batteries. The balmer looks to be fried, although we wouldn't really know unless we tested it. But there's a possibility that I could bypass this entire system. It's been problematic for our Hymer community. No surprise there. Oops, hold on, I'm gonna flip around. Okay. Ooh, look at all that white powder. Do you need like a brush?
No,
Can you get the backside off?
no, it's actually riveted on to a larger piece. So,
Woo.
this is good. That's a possibility.
Huh?
You can see.
Do you need a flashlight? I got a big flashlight.
No, it's actually pretty light.
Oh, okay. Or do you want me to open up the hood too so you can see better?
Sure, yeah, that would be good actually. Let's go this way. So this is the front right corner. I just pulled the shroud out of the way. And there's the dual alternator, the second alternator, not the vehicle alternator. And this is the area where the fire was. And if you look right up in there, this is the negative wire coming from the alternator. Can't quite get in there to see it really well, but that is melted sheathing and it's resting right against the alternator itself. So that's perhaps where the fire was, but we're gonna keep looking because I'm seeing the other positive wire possibly, and it looks pretty toasty too.
Toasty? Is that a formal word?
It is. It's a technical word.
Technical word?
Yep. It's this one right back here.
So this is what the Balmer looks like. So this was the white, what do you call that?
Stator wire.
Stator wire. This is the white stator wire that supposedly is not used but was attached. And we have the burning, as you can see here, on the hose harness, or the wire harness. And it's all melted here. So Mark is underneath trying to figure out where it actually started, because the fire was down here. You can see where we sprayed Mark sprayed the fire extinguisher through there to stop the fire. So this is Dean from Full Power, and he has come over to help diagnose what the issue is. So I'm assuming we're just testing the Balmer right now for power.
That's the ground wire. Yep. You see that melted sheathing?
It was in fact what we thought. So Mark removed the second alternator belt and secured the rest of the battery system. So there were no hot wires until I could get it fixed. But at least now I could actually drive.
Old eagle around. Yep, there's the eagle off to the right.